All right, the next thing I want to show you in Revit is how to do your floor surface. Right now we still have concrete on the floor. We just got through doing countertops. So after countertops and then floor surfaces, you will be complete with this segment of your Revit training. And then you'll go into the more complex kind of design your own home training, where we will cover some more in-depth topics. But this right here kind of gets you going a little bit beyond surface level. But anyway, let's get started on the floors. So what we need to do on floors, we need to start with level 1 on level 1. And as you remember, we placed a concrete slab underneath the structure, which is part of our foundation. Which I think I'll probably have to make another video to finish out your foundation. But anyway, we have a concrete floor and that's all we have. So we need some kind of floor surface for this. And I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do that. But first I am going to pause for just 1 second. Okay, so let's get going. We're going to use the floor tool like we used when we laid the concrete slab, and floor architectural. And then, of course, I have all of my choices. And I'm going to choose to start with this 12-inch generic field. Click on Edit Type. And then we're going to duplicate. We're going to name this duplication. We're just going to name it. Typically, you'll want to name it, whatever your floor type is. And we're going to go with something just really basic for right now. And we're going to call it oak flooring, and then after this I'll show you a more complex way of doing it. So we're going to do oak flooring, and then we're going to go into structure and edit the structure. We're going to leave the function of this as structure, and we have to. Revit says we have to have a structure component to any floor that we do. We're going to change the material. You can change the material to anything in here that you want to. But there is a let's see, a oak flooring somewhere. LMNOP, oak flooring right there. Okay, and it's already got a pattern and everything else associated with it. Click OK, and then we're going to click on the thickness of it. It can vary, the thickness of this flooring material. I'm just going to say it's 3/8 of an inch. Oops, that's 2/8. 3/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click OK again. So what we're doing is we're placing a thin finish layer on top of the concrete that you already have in place. I have to do a height offset on this. And height offset is going to be the actual thickness of the material that I'm placing. There has to be an offset because it basically will measure from the top surface of that flooring material. So I'm going to raise it 3/8 of an inch, so it'll be above the concrete flooring. The concrete slab. All right, and then of course, just like you did with the concrete slab, you're going to click on the walls to place it. And then I'm going to show you a little trick here in just a second. We're going to go around the garage because the garage is going to remain concrete flooring. Oops. All right, and once we get all the way around, we got to come back and fix our corners. So I'm going to escape out of the line tool and go to this corner tool right here. It says Trim Extend to Corner. And I'm going to click the two pieces of line that I want to keep to make this corner, which is right there. Okay, now here's the little tricky part. This flooring should extend under the drywall only. It should not extend beyond the wall's core material, which will be your 2x4s or whatever structural material is involved. So I'm going to come down to the status bar down at the bottom. There's these two squares. One is kind of a 3D looking square, and then the other one's just a plain square. The plain square is detail level. It's currently set for coarse. I want to set it for fine. That way I can see where the drywall in the wall is. Okay, and if you look here, the very thin layer right there, that is your drywall. So the floor would extend right up under that drywall to there. Okay, so I'm going to do that all the way around for this flooring material. Sometimes it's a little tricky getting it lined up there. And actually, I think I can actually use the Align tool to do this. So I'm going to click on the Align tool and show you how that works. So I want everything to line up to this side if I can even pick it up. I'm not even going to be able to pick it up. So I won't be able to use that Align tool. I'll just have to move it manually. Okay, and this side. So just under that drywall, at the very edge of the wall, there's where we want this to be. And yes, it starts to get tedious at this point. All right, so we're good all the way around. And then I'm going to click the green check mark. Now I have some oak flooring. It says the roof floor overlaps the highlighted walls. Would you like to join geometry and cut the overlapping volume out of the walls? I think we'll be safe to do that here. I'll see here in just a moment. But all that should have cut would have been the actual drywall that came down to the level of the floor. Okay, so now we have floor. So we can go back to one of our 3D views, like in the kitchen. And let me deactivate it. Now you can see that we have some oak wood flooring down here on the floor. So that's how you do floors. You're going to do your second level the same way. Remember, you just have a subfloor, a plywood subfloor up there. So you're going to go around and you're going to trace the second level out with whatever flooring material that you want to place. Now, and a matter of fact, I might as well use the second level to show you the more complex way of doing this. Okay, first thing I want to do in order to do the more complex way of doing it is I want to go online and search for maybe a pattern of some sort. So let's say I want a tile pattern on my floor. So I look up tile floor patterns. Okay, and I go to images. And what I'm looking for is the highest resolution straight down. I don't want any of these angled views or any views with a lot of shadows in it or anything like that. I just want a straight down top to floor view of a pattern so that I can use that as a tile pattern. Something like this right here could be okay. Something like this. This is the type of picture that you're looking for. None of this angled stuff like that. And just kind of keep going down till you find something that really catches your eye, and then you can use that as your pattern. Okay, and let's do something like this. Looks pretty good. Now too, I want to find a higher resolution one. This is not the best resolution, but I mean it might work. Okay, so let's just try that anyway. I'm gonna click on it. Go to this picture right here. If you download the picture you see over here on the side, you're basically downloading a thumbnail, which is going to be extremely small, and it's not going to look good. I'm going to see what size some of the other ones are. These are actually, some of these are actually a pretty good size image. Let's do this one instead. So I'm going to click on this one, this polypalm. Okay, and now I'm going to right click, and I'm going to save image as. All right, now for this job, I don't have a particular folder for material swatches. I just have a general folder for material swatches. You can do that with a general folder that holds all your material swatches, but it's really best to make a folder that's for a specific job so that you can keep all of your swatches in it. So I'm going to keep this swatch right inside that material swatch folder. I'm going to click open, and you can see I have a grass swatch in there as well. And save. All right, and now I'm going to go to level 2. Okay, and I haven't put doors or anything on my level 2 yet. Sorry, shame on me. But let's go ahead and put some tile down on level 2. And it's really up to you if you want to do the entire floor or if you just want to do certain sections. I'm just going to choose to do sections. I'm going to do this main section right here. And I think this is the actual drawing where I do not have a balcony or anything included in this as of yet. Not a balcony, but a loft. Okay, so I'm going to choose the floor tool, floor architectural, And I'm going to copy this oak flooring that I used on the first floor. I'm going to click on Edit Type, and I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to call this tile flooring. And you might want to name it something more particular to the style of tile that you have. I'm going to choose Edit, and I'm going to change this, and I'm going to create a new material. Right now it's on oak flooring. I don't want to change anything on oak flooring, because if I change the image in oak flooring, it's going to actually change what is already installed downstairs. So I'm going to create a new material with this little globe right there. Zoom into that. See that little globe? If you click on the drop down, it says duplicate and create. So I'm going to create a new material. I'm not going to worry about duplicating. I want to go ahead and name it because I don't want it to be a mystery. Tile flooring. And again, you might want to name that something more specific based on the type of tile that you have. And I'm going to click on graphics, and this is just basically my low resolution appearance for this flooring. And I'm just going to leave it, well, now I could probably make it a white. And then I'm going to put a pattern to it, something similar to the pattern that already exists. Or actually, I'm going to use these. Okay. And I really don't need a cut pattern or any of this other stuff. Now, where it's going to really matter is when I go to the appearance. All right, appearance. I'm going to do something kind of brownish. This is just kind of a low resolution appearance with the brown. Then I'm going to slide the image in there, which is going to come out when I do any kind of renderings or ray traces or anything like that. So there's no image in there right now. So I'm just going to click in the empty box, and it's going to go to my computer and allow me to choose an image. So I'm going to go to my desktop, which is right there, and I am going to material swatches and then the flooring. Click OK, and now see it's in there. It's going to actually show up on the floor. Okay, now you can actually further edit this by clicking on it. It brings up this window, and it shows you how it's going to repeat. And I can actually adjust these. Right now it's going to repeat like the pattern every 1 foot, every 1 square foot. I might want it to be a little bigger than that. So I can actually go down here to the scale section and sample size and just make that whatever I want it to be. I'm going to do 3 foot by 3 foot. And of course, both of those boxes are attached. They're linked right now, but this little icon, which if I put one size in one box, it's going to change it in the other as well. If you want a different size for each direction, you know, the X and the Y coordinate, you can unclick the link box there, and then you can put, like, say, 3 foot by 6 foot. Okay, but I'm going to click on done because 3 foot by 3 foot is perfectly fine with me. You can also see kind of a preview of what it's going to look like on an object up here in this window as well. You have other things that you can mess with here. Reflectivity. Do you want it to be a shiny floor? And, you know, as soon as I turned on reflectivity, you can see how it changed on the actual object. I'm going to turn off, and you see it's more of a matte type color. Turn on reflectivity, and then, of course, I can change the intensity of that as well. Self-illumination is also another one that kind of gives a little bit more shine, and again, you can also adjust that as well. I want to do it just like that, apply, and click OK. And everything is set to go. Everything is good here. And now all I have to do is whatever section I'm going to put it in, I'm going to put it in this section right here. And let's see, there, there, and there. And yes, here, here, and here. All right, now I'll have to draw a line to complete this one. I'm going to go to the corner tool, use that corner tool, click here and here. It cuts that corner. Click here and here. That makes that corner. I'm going to click on the fine resolution. And again, match it to the drywall. And I think right now it kind of automatically hit there, which is good. Now here's another corner I have to fix. Here and here, and then I got to move that into where the drywall starts. This one needs to be moved. And this one needs to be moved. Everything else is good. Click on the green check mark to let it know I'm done. The floor roof overlaps the highlighted walls. Would you like to join the geometry and cut the overlapping volume out? Yes. And that's just going to cut out that little, should just cut out that little piece of drywall that we were talking about. And actually I can go on an exterior view just to double check. Let's try south. Yes. If it did not do as I expected, there'd be a gap in the wall right here. So it did just what it was supposed to do. So go back to level 2 and do another camera shot. And we'll just kind of camera shoot across this way and see what that floor looks like. Oh, and I guess I do have the, I got the railing for the stuff. I guess I got to cut a hole. And yeah, I got to cut a hole in this flooring in order to make that loft go through. So there we are. We have flooring, and you could take it and let's see, let's make the resolution fine. Click on the visual style. Click on realistic. Okay. Doesn't really tell you a whole lot there, but I guess if we went to Raytrace, we might, well, actually there's no lights in here, so we really won't see a whole lot. Let's see what it does. It takes a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay, because we don't have any roof over the top of it, we get plenty of sunshine. That's what happens when you don't have a roof. But anyway, you can see the flooring. It is beautiful. It is, let it regenerate there. Closer view. And that is a gorgeous tile floor. Nice and shiny. And it's awesome. Now, if you do a ray trace on your computer at your desk, those computers are a lot slower than this one, so it might take a few more minutes to get a good view out of it. And but I encourage you just to stick with it. Next year, we'll actually have brand new computers, so we should be able to do stuff like this a lot easier, a lot better. Okay, so that is your flooring tutorial. I'm going to close that, and good luck on placing those floors. If you have any questions, just let me know.